If you're someone that dreams about becoming a speaker and wants to learn how to leverage LinkedIn to do that, in today's episode, I'm going to share with you exactly how I did. G'day everyone, it is Coach Michelle J. Raymond, or should I say international speaker Michelle J. Raymond this week, because I am still listeners on my World Page Advocacy Tour. As this goes live, I'll be in the UK, just about to head off to Social Media Marketing World in San Diego. And it's still a pinch me moment. Absolutely mind blowing for me that this is all happening. And it is just the best. For some of you that are listening to the podcast, you might be thinking, there is no way on earth that I am ever going to become a speaker. And I say, don't switch off just yet, because if I rewind the clock just a couple of years, I was sitting down having lunch with my business mentor, and she said to me, Michelle, why don't you become a speaker? Have you ever considered that? And I just laughed at her, nearly spat my sushi out at the time. And she said, no, you'd be really good at it. You do your LinkedIn lives, you do your podcast. Why not on a stage? And I was like looking at her like, is this woman nuts? So shout out to her for encouraging me and planting that seed back that long ago. But it really wasn't something that I ever imagined for myself. So even if you're not there right now, listen into this, because I think there's lots that people can learn anyway, whether you want to become a speaker, maybe you just want to appear as a guest on other people's podcasts, or maybe you're just curious, like, why the heck do I do this kind of thing? No matter what, there's going to be something in this episode for everybody. So before I go into how I got here, let's hear a quick word from our podcast sponsors, Metrical. Last month, we explored Metrical's 2025 social media report, and guess what? March brings us another exclusive Metrical study, this time a deep dive into LinkedIn. And this report, listeners, is like the pot of gold at the end of the LinkedIn rainbow. It will dissect over 47,000 accounts and 570,000 LinkedIn posts to uncover the network's key trends, engagement, growth, and video performance. Now, Metrical's LinkedIn study will be released at the end of the month, so stay tuned for the report link and study findings. This is just a quick reminder that LinkedIn is a premium Metrical feature. So to access all of your account insights, scheduling, and reporting, you can sign up for a premium plan, which starts at just $18 a month. And the good news for you listeners is if you use code Michelle30, you can test any Metrical premium plan for 30 days for free. All the details that you need to do that are in the link in the show notes. Let's talk about how LinkedIn opened up the world of international speaking for me. And it is something that started long before I ever got the first invite. It is something that I didn't realize that at the time, but every comment, every post, every update to my company page or my LinkedIn profile was all doing the work bit by bit, building my personal brand. And that is where I started building the credibility. You know, that was almost 5 years ago now. And it's crazy to think that all those little posts, one by one, which at the time, some days they performed well, some days they performed rubbish. If I go back and have a look at how I ended up here, the number one thing, which I think everybody needs, regardless, whether you're a speaker or just creating content and trying to grow a business on LinkedIn, is you have to have a niche or an area of expertise that you own that space. Like you're the go-to, no questions asked. Whenever that topic comes up, people in their brains just go, company pages, Michelle. For you, what do they go to in their mind? Now, if you have lots and lots of different things that you're good at, I see you, I hear you, I feel you. I was exactly the same. And so in the beginning, I used to think company pages being my niche was something that boxed me in. And how would I ever share all of my amazing other knowledge that I brought to the table with people? And there were times when I gave up on company pages. I was like, this is crazy. There's so many other things that I can help people with. And so I spat my dummy, not going to lie, because let's be clear, at the time, company pages, or maybe even still now, are never the cool topic at a dinner party. But ultimately, what happened was I realized that was the thing that I was known for. That was the thing that made me stand out amongst all the other fabulous LinkedIn trainers around the world. That was my thing. That was the immediate, obvious thing that if someone posted about company pages, they said, go and speak to Michelle. And so that was something that I didn't realize how powerful that was at the beginning. So if this message resonates with you, if you think, yeah, people know me for this one thing, but I'm so good at all of these other things, or right now you're trying to figure out what your thing is, it is worth the effort. Finding your thing, whatever it is, and however you come across in your own way is so critical because it's going to come out in your content. It's going to come out in the conversations you have. It's going to come out in the community that you built. And all of these things are going to highlight you as the obvious choice for event planners. Because if you think about it from the perspective of an event planner, they have a billion LinkedIn members, people that aren't on LinkedIn. They listen to podcasts. They might be over on YouTube. They are on the hunt to try and find the right person. And normally they've got a list of topics and they're looking for people to fill those spots. So you have to pick your spot, own it, and just be the best of the best at it. Let's say you've nailed down your niche. What else are event organizers looking for? And the thing is, it's more than just being a subject matter expert. And I think the thing that has been hardest for me to reframe how I think about things is to become a speaker. It is more than just a how-to or a training session. You have to come up with ways that you can share valuable insights, and whether that's frameworks or have insights into industry challenges. Maybe you've done your own research. Having something unique and interesting as a way of speaking about that topic is equally important. And I find coming up with frameworks and playbooks and things like that extremely hard. My brain just says, why can't I just say this, that, or the other? And the reason I can't is because I need to make sure it's memorable for other people so that after they leave the event, that they still can think in their minds, what did Michelle talk about? What could I take away and what can I implement? That's really where I'm coming from when I'm planning out these talks. So having these insights is really good. I think also being able to speak from real life experiences. So not just something you read in a book, but how does it play out in everyday life? So for social media marketing world, I know that that audience is predominantly marketers. It's roughly split 50-50 between B2B and B2C marketers. I know the age group. I know the seniority levels. Like I've got all the insights in who attends, and I need to be able to relate to them and tell them why what I'm talking about makes a difference and helps them achieve their goals. So when I'm coming up with my frameworks for what I'm talking about, you really have to plan for that audience. So when you understand your audience and you understand the type of event that the planners are putting on, then you can put forward a proposal to say, I talk about this. This is how it helps your particular audience be better at what they do. When you help these event organizers tick both boxes, yes, you know your stuff, and yes, it's going to make a difference to their audience, you become the no-brainer choice. Let's talk about the actual things that you can do on LinkedIn to really highlight your experience and expertise to these event planners so that they know you're a speaker, they know what topic you're talking on, they can get a sense of your energy, your presentation styles. And this is really where the power of video comes into LinkedIn, whether it's short form, whether it's long form, whether it's LinkedIn Lives, it doesn't matter. But you can't just be words on a page. People want to see you in action. They want to see the energy that you bring. Do you have big hands? Are you big energy? It can be all kinds of different things that they're looking for. But at the end of the day, if you don't put some kind of video content out there so that they can see you, then you have really diminished your chances of ever getting that speaking gig. I think the only other chance you may have is maybe if you're a really well-published author, you might get a look in, but still, you have to give them confidence that you're the right choice. So for me, video content is a must-have. The other thing that's a must-have is an updated LinkedIn profile. Do you make it clear to the people that visit your profile what you do? Are they clear who you do it for? Are they clear that you are a speaker? So if you go to my LinkedIn profile right now and look at my banner, for instance, you're going to notice that there's lots of pictures of me on stages, because I want people to know that's something that I'm interested in, that I love talking, I love presenting, and that's something that I want them to associate with me. So from that perspective, make sure that your LinkedIn profile also makes it super obvious. What else have I been doing to make sure that not only do I land these speaking gigs, but I get invited back a second time? And I think the thing that I do probably more than most speakers, actually, I reckon I'm one of the best that does it. I'm going to throw it out there. I'm just going to back myself. One of the things that I do is I help them promote before, during, and after the event to my community. And I've got a significant community around the world, and I do my part to help them promote it. I'm doing my part to make sure that they are getting tickets sold up front, that there is a sense of FOMO created while we're there. I do lots of networking while I'm at the events. I'm not aloof and unapproachable. So if you are at one of these events and you see me, please come and say hi. I promise I won't bite. That makes me laugh, because it makes me think the first time I went to social media marketing world, and as I was walking down the aisles of the conference center, and they're huge, and I'm by myself and I'm like a deer in headlights, and people would walk past and give me a side glance up and down and then keep walking. And then I'd turn and look over my shoulder, and they were doing the same thing. And I was like, what is wrong with me? Have I got like something on my shirt? Have I stood in something? Have I got toilet paper somewhere? And what it turns out is a lot of people recognize me. I didn't recognize them because I hadn't seen them before, or maybe they're podcast listeners and I don't know what you look like. And so they knew who I was and I didn't know who they were. And it was such an uncomfortable feeling. So my request is, if you see me, please say hello. I won't bite. But anyway, I digress, listeners. But I hope you can understand that when you're at these events as a speaker, the thing that you can really do to help those event organizers is make sure that the people that are attending, the ones that make it possible for you to be there, you make yourself available to have conversations with them. And it just makes the world of difference. The other thing that I think that you can do is afterwards, like just because the event's finished doesn't mean you need to stop talking about it. It's not just the photos on the stage. What was it like for the people that missed out? Because a lot of these event organizers have tickets for sale for the next year's event immediately. So encourage people to purchase them, create more photos, create more content that you can share that encourages other people who may not have been able to attend that event come to the next one. And hopefully you get invited back. I am so excited and grateful that I am coming back to social media marketing world. And I'm also going back to Denmark for the Linked Summit, which I can't wait to do both of these events as well. So won't be long now for social media marketing world. I'm almost there as this goes to air. But I hope this has helped people. Like ultimately, choose your topic, stay on topic, be unique and have your own way about talking about it. And then ultimately create insights and frameworks or playbooks around that then can translate well to an audience, and practice, practice, practice. This is the thing that I'm going to be doing more and more of, is learning how can I perfect what I do on a stage, no different to what I do for this podcast. So listeners, as we wrap this one up today, I hope that I do get to bump into some of you in the aisles around some of these events, because absolutely it just makes my day. So until next week, cheers.